What's up guys, my name is Trace, but some of you might know me better as Let's Play Dark Souls HD. And I'm a very aggravated Let's Play Dark Souls HD right now because I have had absolutely no luck with this video. I haven't not been uploading for days because I wasn't feeling like it. It was literally because I can't, and I'm going to take my frustration out on the Black Maiden, or the Maiden in Black. I have come to you again, doing retrospect. Isn't that just our favorite word? Yes, I have had zero luck processing this stupid video, because, and whatever you see me doing on screen, no, don't sync it up with my commentary. I'm talking about completely other stuff because this is retrospect. I was only showing the broken sword because I was probably explaining how I'm going to use Saint Astraea's soul with the broken sword to make the Blueblood sword because it's an amazing weapon. But, yes, zero luck with this video because I've been trying to process this video and get it uploaded for days now, but for some reason it's like the universe literally doesn't want me uploading this video. In between my program's crashing and not letting me process the video all the way, and countless interruptions from people just randomly opening my door and interrupting my recordings, and just all kinds of really frustrating and annoying stuff that's been stopping me from uploading this video. Even right now, I'm on probably my 4th attempt at retrospect for this because I'm almost expecting somebody to interrupt me in the next 30 seconds because that's how it's been. But hopefully, you know, let's say our prayers and hopefully I'll be able to get through this damn commentary. But I actually had to do a little ninja edit right here because I wanted to show this item right here being the Widow's Lotus because there's plague down here. Whenever the game throws Widow's Lotus at you, be on the watch for plague. And notice how I have about 68,000 souls right there? Yeah, pay attention to that.
Go forth, Garl Vinland. May you be unharmed.
And what do you know? 0 souls. That happened because, like I said, I was interrupted during my first recording of this, and I ended up, because I was distracted while I was recording, I ended up like walking off the edge like an idiot, and just completely swarmed by plague babies, and the plague babies killed me, and my souls are actually down there right now. I ended up dying before I even got back to them, which was unfortunate, but it's, you know, such is the fate of every Souls player. Everybody's going to experience that at one point, dying before you get back to your souls. The utter rage. But as you can see, there are lots of items scattered about this place, but we're not worried about the items. What we're worried about is the damn plague babies. They are the worst creatures that ever existed. My main concern with the plague babies is not my shitty aim of trying to hit them, but right here. After you hit them, they burrow down in the sludge, and that is no ordinary sludge. It does not cause poison. It causes plague, and it hinders all movement. You can't roll in it, and you can't run in it either. You walk very slowly. My main concern in this place is just the plague babies. They are the ultimate problem. But there's a sneaky little crystal lizard over here that I want to nab, and I'm going to show you guys the best way to get him. If you get rid of these guys over here, he won't have any obstacles to run through, and you'll be able to chase him down until he hits a wall and smack him before he burrows. So I want to get rid of just a few of these guys before he actually starts running over there. And I highly recommend wearing the thief ring for this part, because once he sees you and starts running, as you can tell, he's right over there, just sitting there against the wall. As you can tell, he's in a very, very bad spot. It's incredibly dangerous, and it is too easy to fall right here. So wear the thief ring so that you can walk over in this little rut in the wall, and the game plan is to smack him one good time with an arrow, and then you want to bombard him with your weapon after he falls over. So get rid of those guys so that they don't get in the way when you're chasing him down, and yeah, smack him one good time with an arrow, switch to your primary weapon and just run at him and start hitting him like this. Make sure you hug the wall while you're running too. Okay, he gives you 2 chunks of faint stone, which are good upgrade items. They're hard to get. And aside from that, yeah, that is the best way to get the crystal lizard. We've got so many plague babies down there, and they do end up killing me once. It sucks, but yeah. Because I ran over here and went for the crystal lizard first, it caused Garl Vinland, who is actually, he is the main challenge in this fight. It caused Garl Vinland to drop down there where Maiden Astraea, or Saint Astraea, is sitting down, and I actually had to end up running down there and fighting him in that awkward spot. But like I said, everything under the sun went wrong when I was recording this. So this is just an incredibly sloppy video altogether. Yeah, I suppose it doesn't matter if you actually kill these guys or not because they don't attack you. But just make sure you don't fall, because once you fall down there, you are officially in like plague sludge. It'll give you the plague, which eats your health incredibly fast, and you have to worry about the plague babies. Not only do they cause plague when they hit you, but they do massive damage, especially in groups. So normally you would fight Garl Vinland right here, in this exact spot, and you would have room to fight him because he doesn't really move. But unfortunately I had to go all the way down here and fight him in this awkward spot. There's the legion of plague babies that are in between us and the items. But, well, we'll do something about that. I decided to go through the hellish torment of showing you guys that little island full of big dudes with the 3 stones of ephemeral eyes in the Valley of Defilement, the level before this. I showed you guys that.
I shall let no harm come to dearest Astraea. May you rot in the deepest depths of this swamp.
Yeah, he has small dialogue that he says to you, but it's just him telling you to go away. But yeah, I went through the nonsense of showing you guys those items over there to get the stones of ephemeral eyes guarded by the 4 giant dudes. I'll be damned if I don't show you the items that are being guarded by the plague babies. So this fight is very straightforward. It is a lot like fighting Havel, or a lot like fighting the Black Phantom of Paladin Leroy, we could say, without Wrath of God. The thing that you need to note about Garl Vinland is that he is incredibly strong and incredibly defensive. Not only can he kill you in less than 3 hits with that weapon, but it is impossible to get through his shield. In fact, I'll show you right now. Unfortunately, equipping the catalyst makes me super heavy, and I do the fat roll, but I'm just going to prove a point. Now, he won't chase you all the way back up there. It sucks that we have to fight him down here, but fire does absolutely nothing to him, and magic literally does nothing. So when you hit him with anything that's magic, if he blocks it, it will do 0 damage, because the shield he uses is called the Dark Silver Shield, and it blocks 100% magic damage. It is incredibly good in PvP, and his armor as well.
You abandoned us long ago. What right do you have? We live humble lives. Leave us be.
Yeah, his random dialogues are kind of depressing, but his armor is incredibly resistant to magic, so I would highly recommend trying to fight him with some form of incredibly strong raw damage, like a curse weapon. That would be a lot better. I hate that we have to sit here and chip away at him like this, but there's really nothing we can do about it. Seeing as how I was unable to get him to follow me back up to the larger fighting area, we have to sit here and just wait for him to swing and chip away at his health. So, you'll notice a couple times where he actually hits me, that it drains almost every drop of our endurance because his weapon hits so hard. And he ends up getting solid hits on me a couple times. It does a ton of damage. Like that. See, blocking his attack completely eats our endurance because he hits like a truck. But he is the main gimmick in this fight. You have to get rid of him if you want to get to St. Astraea. I do not recommend trying to run past him and killing Astraea to just end the fight, because he can move freely inside the Plague Sludge, and you cannot. So he's going to catch up to you in a second and just thrash you. So whatever you do, don't do that. And Garl is also able to parry you, so you need to be careful. Only attack him when he's got his weapon with both hands. See, he just tried to parry right there. And he can do a ton of damage. It'll kill you in one hit if he parries you. But yeah, this fight is mainly just a gimmick to get rid of him, and then you run over to Astraea and you kill her. Or talk to her. Either way, you can end the fight. But there's a very, very interesting lore aspect to this fight that I'll explain after we kill Garl. But if you also remember, we ran into Garl's sister, Selin, back in 5-2. And we have to go talk to her again to complete her quest line. Yeah, I ended up trying to finish him with a parry, just to show that you can parry his attack if you want to end the fight quicker. It's just kind of tricky, and it's very costly if you miss, as you can see. Yeah, I do apologize for the face cam hype and then not doing it. Watch out for his heal, by the way, because he heals a lot of health. He'll take away 80% of your progress with one heal. It's unfortunate. So don't let him do that. Ugh, trying to parry him takes a few tries for me because I'm rusty. But I do apologize for not doing the face cam. It's just I don't have the time or I don't have the machine power to be able to upload in a reasonable amount of time while doing face cam. It's I'm sort of pinched for time doing this. Now it should be different for Dark Souls too. If you guys are going to be, so I got a successful parry right there, but he just smashed me like a fly, which was, I couldn't get the riposte. But if you guys stick around for Dark Souls 2, which I hope most of you do, gotcha.
I have failed you.
Gotcha, buddy. And we can't carry anymore, so you get his armor and his shield for beating him, but you do not get his weapon. Not yet. I'll be including that as well. But if you guys stick around for Dark Souls 2, which I hope you do, I will have all the time in the world for that, because I'm not sure if I mentioned this on here or not, but I did in fact schedule my vacation off of work for the launch of Dark Souls 2, because I love you guys that much. And the spot up there where you see the waterfall going over the planks, that is the spot where you can shoot her with a bow and not have to worry about the rest of the fight if you want to end it in 30 seconds. But yes, I love you guys that much. I literally told my family to piss off And I said I was not going to go to Florida with them over the summer. And I love going to Florida. So I sacrificed my haven in Florida so that I could play Dark Souls for you guys here in the cold where I live. So, yes. Now, when you run over here, you can either hit her with your weapon to end the fight, or you can talk to her. I prefer to talk to her for the lore aspect.
You killed him, didn't you? Very well. I can no longer resist you. Do as you like. Take your precious demon soul.
Okay, and she ends up self-terminating. So, the Archstone is right there, down in the freaking plague, the plague sludge. That figures. But, like I said before, I went through the hell of getting all those items in the last level that didn't matter. And I'll be damned if I don't I'll be damned if I don't go get all of those. So I may as well. And here is the lore aspect of this place. When you come down here, the first thing that you're going to notice is Maiden Astraea sitting on like a pile of blood. But what you don't really notice that fast is and I started looking for her soul in my items and realized that I hadn't even touched the Archstone yet. Yeah, the pure blood demon soul, and you end up getting the ring from her that increases your, I believe it increases miracle power, if I remember correctly. Yeah, the ring of sincere prayer raises miracle power and casting time, which is really good. But if you notice, like, the pile of treasure down here, there's a ton of it. There's, like, all kinds of it. I guess you could say the lore aspect of this place is that we read, well, I didn't read the Archstone. I didn't feel like it, but you can go back in the video and pause it on the Archstone if you want to read it. But, damn plague babies. But the thing says that, the Archstone says, souls of the Valley of Defilement come there, or they seek out Maiden Astraea so that they can be freed from their curse, essentially. So, as you can see, many riches were offered to Astraea. So she was sitting on a pile of treasure with Garl Vinland, and he says that they live a humble life down there, because I assume the illusion is that they feel like they're helping, even though they're not, because if you saw back there, there was an equally huge pile of bodies as compared to the pile of treasure, because people come there thinking that they're going to be saved, and they just end up dying anyway. Now, this part was kind of annoying. I basically got to sit around and play whack-a-mole with stupid plague babies, but there's really nothing you can do about it. I highly recommend getting the attention of the plague babies so that they're right in your face, and then rolling past them or something, or just like dropping down into the swamp away from them, so that you can walk your way. I'm still doing the fat roll, so that you can walk your way over to the other treasure. Now, I ended up running back here, and whatever you do, don't slip and fall and land down in the plague, the plague sludge, because it's almost an instantaneous effect. It just sucks. It's terrible. But you can drop down right here to get this initial item. It is a pure sucker stone. We already got one of those. And then if you drop down here, that right there is a pure faint stone, I believe. And then there's also a pure marrow stone over here. So there are very, very good items over here. They're blocked by plague babies. And you can get rid of these jerks. The fire and soul ray do about the same damage on these things. And from what I demonstrated, soul ray is a little bit stronger. But what I ended up doing was I wasted a pretty good deal of time firing sorceries at these guys. I ended up wasting all of my spice. But the general strategy against these guys is to hold them to you until they're all really close, and so that you know that they're not going to be any in front of you, and then going for the items. Because the plague babies, even though you move incredibly slow through the plague sludge, they can't really catch you unless you stop moving. So once you are actually down there with them inside the sludge, do not stop to use items, because that's how they end up getting all around you so that you can't move. Yeah, I hate these things so much. You can't just kill them. They end up, I mean, you can kill them, we're getting souls for them, but it's like they always end up hiding underneath the sludge. So you're not going to get all of them, unfortunately. But I ended up thinking of a clever way to kill a bunch of them. You guys will see. It's pretty funny. I just, in this segment of the video, I was just trying to nab as many of them as I could. To go get my souls back, which I failed to do. Make sure you have an ample amount of Widow's Lotuses before you come into this place, because you're going to need at least 10. Okay, we got a legendary hero's soul off of that corpse. And I know that one over there is a pure stone. It's either the marrow or the faint stone. I don't remember which one. Yeah, you can't really hit them either. This is an awkward angle to try and hit these things. And they pop out endlessly. It's so annoying. Ugh. These things, they are the closest force in any video game to making me rage. I absolutely despise the plague babies. I honestly wish that they weren't in this game. I wish they never put these things in here. Okay, so that was the pure mercury stone. And watch out for these random pieces of crap that are in the way. As you can see, the plague babies are constantly right on your tail when you come down here. So whatever you do, and that was a stone of a see, whatever you do, don't stop moving, because they catch up to you instantly and they just start smacking you. This was the mistake I made. This is literally just bad. A whole bunch of bad. $68,000 souls down the drain. Quite literally. Yeah, that sucked. But it doesn't matter if we die in human form in this place anymore, because the only direction to go now is pure black. Since we beat the boss, did all white tendency events. Now we just have to go fish the other souls that we lost out of there. These guys, like I said, it doesn't matter if you don't kill them, because they're not going to attack you anyway, but whatever, free souls. And the crystal lizard came back, but I don't have the thief ring on. And for some reason, before I could even switch to it, and I didn't want to take off the Herculean strength ring, before I can even switch to the damn ring, bam, ninja lizard. Completely gone. Can't even see him. Like, I didn't even see where he went. That was ridiculous. I mean, for me, I can see it happening now, but when I was recording, it happened so quick I had no idea what happened. All I remember is switching my rings. As soon as I get out of the menu, he's just gone. That sucked. But our souls are not as far out there as I was afraid they would be. They're like right before the spot that we died in, so we should be able to get them fairly easily. But what I came up with was I decided to use magic to pull them to me so that they would all get right up in my face. And then I decided to be really cheap about it, which turned out quite well. So yeah. These things are so ugly. It is almost disturbing how ugly they are. Now sometimes they don't move when you hit them like that. That was a blessing. That one didn't move. But I didn't get that lucky with any of the other ones. Yeah, they all burrow under the freaking sludge after you hit them. It sucks. But now I've got a legion of plague babies in my face. Now they don't regenerate health after they go underneath. That is the only fortunate part about the plague babies, is that they only have one health bar and it never changes. So I do have them all on my face now. The idea would be to roll over them, head for my souls, and just run and get out of the friggin' sludge as fast as possible. But I decided that I was going to make them pay for what they've done to me. They're going to pay. Like this. Feel the wrath of God, you damnable creatures. Watching plague babies die. It's a pleasure it's a pleasure that I get to experience not very often. Not often enough, I should say. Now these ones, I tried hitting as many of these ones as I could before I ran out of arrows, but it didn't work so well. I was unable to pull them. I've only got these two over here still. Yeah, these ones over here refused to go near me. Probably because of the thievery. But, okay, we got these two. A good plague baby is a dead plague baby. So I'm not even going to worry about those ones over there. They freaking suck. Since I wasted a lotus. I don't feel like using any more of my spice because all I have left at this point is old spice. And I don't come across much of that. Not enough of it to waste on plague babies. Seeing as how the ones over there were not in my way at all. They weren't in the way of anything that I wanted. And I don't know why I used the lotus right here. I was just going to end up walking through this crap to get to the archstone anyway. But I did want to stop and take a look at this stuff one more time. You can see different kinds of treasure over here. You can see blood, it looks like, running off into the swamp. But there's coins, and there's artifacts and all kinds of stuff, but there's also a pile of bodies over there. So the lore aspect is that they offer things to something that really isn't helping them. The only thing that Saint Astraea offered was hope. She did not actually give results. Her and Garl Vinland sat down here in their humble life, quote unquote, which was actually just an illusion to people. It's like, yay, she showed kindness. She's going to break our curse and save us from damnation if we give her everything that we own. Nope. The reality of Saint Astraea is right across from all of the treasure. It's a giant-ass pile of bodies. So people still die. Nothing changed. That would be the lore aspect. It is kind of crazy. There's like a weird torn-up tent item that she sits on. I'm not sure what that is. I've never quite known what that was, but I do remember the first time I beat her, I noticed that there was a giant pile of bodies, and there was giant piles of treasure that she was sitting on, and I sort of created my own speculations. That's kind of how it worked. I don't care if I have the plague. Heading back to the Nexus. Lord Ridio. We'll be seeing more of him, too. You can be sure of that. So, what we need to do is we actually need to run over to Blacksmith Ed. Because we have the Broken Sword, and we've also got the Pure-Blooded Demon Soul. So, onward to Stonefang Tunnel, to the Blacksmith. And he's going to craft for us one of our more powerful weapons for the playthrough. This is probably going to be my strongest weapon of the playthrough. And it is indeed powerful. Man. I can't believe it that I almost made it to the end of this video. The end of this commentary without being interrupted. This is almost too good to be true. Yeah. I don't know if I'm properly stressing it to you guys, but I've literally been struggling for like 3 days to get this video up, and it just hasn't worked for me. So, the Broken Sword, the only thing you can do with it is turn it into Blueblood Sword. It has 100 physical and 100 magical attack, and due to our stats, I believe it's magic and luck, the scaling gives us an extra 54 damage on both of them. So, you cannot upgrade this thing any further. I believe you have to upgrade it with colorless demon souls, which I'll show how to obtain those later. But when we equipped it, the damage boost that we go to is, we go up to 308 damage from, how much did we have before? 213? Yeah, we go from 213 to 308 damage. That's a pretty damn good boost. This thing has a standard longsword type attack set, and it also has the lunge attack for the strong attack, which does pierce damage. This is a phenomenal weapon. It is incredibly strong, and to be honest, it's probably my favorite weapon in this game. It is incredibly powerful. The awesome thing about the Blueblood Sword is that it scales off of 3 different stats. I believe it scales off of dexterity, magic, and it scales off of luck. So the higher you raise your luck, the more damage the higher you raise dexterity and magic and luck, the more damage you're going to do with it, which makes it a very flexible weapon. It is incredibly good, and we're going to be doing a lot more damage with it. So I guess all I can really do is blabber until the end of the video. So I've probably done it about 4 times now, but I'm going to do it again, and apologize for the no face cam. I mean, the file size is just a bit too ridiculous. Takes too long to upload, takes too long to process, and seeing as how I work a lot, more than I should, I really just don't have the time. I barely have time to upload videos as it is, and yeah, I can't do the face cam thing. The videos are just way too big. I would have to cut it down to like 20-minute videos, and nobody wants that. From what I understand, most of you guys are pretty happy with the length of my videos. And this one was actually a little bit shorter, but that was because it was just a test for the face cam. See how that goes first, and it was huge. Even though it was just a little over 30 minutes, it was huge. And Old Spice. I think I showed off the Dark Silver Shield. Maybe not in this video, who knows. But I think in the next video we are probably going to go back into Boletaria. We're going to do 1-3 because I'm saving the Tower of Latria for right before we beat the game, because it is one of my favorite levels, and I really, really savor every moment of playing it. So, I suppose an ending note for this video is that I'm just glad I got through it. I really am. I'm just glad I finished it. You guys have no idea how many times the progress of this video was just interrupted completely while I was trying to do it. I mean, I did successfully start recording and doing face cam and stuff. I mean, I did probably 7 or 8 different takes with the face cam. All of them failed, and this is like my 4th attempt at retrospect. It is just bogus. But yeah, hopefully my future recordings won't be interrupted, because we're going into 1-3 for the next video. Should be pretty fun, nice environment to test out the Blueblood sword and show you guys how awesome it is. So, as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.